Slocket. Having a bit of technical difficulties with the sound this morning. But we should be to wild. Let's make sure my levels is right. Alright. Alright, if you can hear me. Alright. Just make sure I can be heard real quick. Looking good from my end. Alright. Alright, so we're going to be starting at the very beginning. Start in the book of Genesis, chapter 1, verse 1. Right? First, we're going to read in the Hebrew, and then we'll be reading in the English following that. All right. Barashayath, Bara'ah, Alahayim, Ath, Hashemayim, Wa'ath, Ha'arataza. Alright. Ha'arataza, it's like it. Wa'ha'arataza, Hayath, like Hayatha, Daha. Wabaha, Wathashak, like it. Wachashak, Al Panya, Dawam, Rawak, Alahayim, Marakapath, Al, Panya, Hamayam, Waya Amar, Alahayam, Yahaya, Awar, Wayahaya, Awar, Wayara'a, Alahayam, Ath, Ayawar, Kai, Tuwab, Wayabadal, Alahayam, Bayan, Ha'awar, Wabayan, Ha'kashak, Wayakwara, Alahayam, La'awar, Yum, it's like Yawam, Walakashak, Kwara'a, Layala, Wayahaya, Arab, Wayahaya, Bakwar, Yum, Akhad, Pa. Alright. Waya Omar, Alahayam, Yahaya, Rakwawa I, Bathawak, Hamayam, the water. Yeah, the water. Mabadayaw, Bayan, Mayam, Lamayam, Waya Aish, Alahayam, Ath, Harakwaya I, Waya Badal, Bayan, Hamayam, Ashar, Makathaka, like Mathakatha, Salaki, Larakwa Yai, Wabayan, Hamayam, Ashar, Ma'al, Larakwa Yai, Wayahaya, Kad. Alright, in English. Alright. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth was without form and void, and the darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. Verse 4. See, when God saw the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. Verse 5. And God called the light day, and called the darkness night, and the evening and the morning were the first day. Verse 6. And God said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters." Verse 7. And God made the firmament, and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And so it was. Alright, so this is obviously most people have heard the story of, the creation story is what it's called. And it's fairly simple, but most people only see it as base text, right? So we're getting into the part, we're starting at the beginning where the Most High created everything, right? And you got to think about it, right? It says the earth was without form, right? So being without form, it means it was more so of an amorphous blob. It was shapeless, right? And then the Most High He created the shape to it, right? So He made it in the shape that we know today, in the spherical shape. And so it wasn't just a floating rock. It wasn't just already a ball. It was created as formless, and then it was created into the shape we now know, right? And the Most High separated the light and the darkness, and that is a continual theme you'll notice if you continue to study the Bible, right? That the Most High has never been about mixing everything together with everything else. In the very first chapter, on the fourth verse in the entire book, the Most High is already dividing things apart from each other. He's making differences between one thing and another. All right. So, let's see. All right. And with the word real quick, make sure my preposition is correct. All right, so so the word for heaven in Hebrew is Shemayim, right? And Shemayim is based off of the word Mayim. And Mayim simply means water, right? The Shah as a prefix, which we will be going over soon in our Lashwan Qadash classes. But the Shah being a prefix, it means pertaining, right? So the word Shemayim means dealing with pertaining to water, right? The waters. So we see here where it said that in verse 7, where the Most High divided, he made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament, and then the waters which were above the firmament, right? All right. Now we're in verse 8. Wayakora'ah Allahayim Larakwa Ya'ai Shemayim Haya let's like it. Wayahaya Arab Wayahaya Bukwar Yawam Shanai Pa. Waya Amar Allahayam come around. Yeah. So one second. All right. State your registry. I repeat it back. Okay. All right. Abanazar, Ban Yehoda, Ban Yesharala. Now you Yahbashim Yashar.
Yahbashim Yashar.
Yahbashim Yashar. Duh. I'm in verse 8, and that's like I'm actually at verse 9. and I'm going to be reading to verse 14. Look, so like starting at verse 9 again. Waya Amar Alahayim Yakwa Yakwa like here. Yakwa Wawa Hamayam Mathaktha like Mathachatha Hashemayam Al Makwayam Akkad Wathakra'ah like what Wathakra'ah like it. Yeah. Haya Basha Waya Haya Kad Waya Kwara Alahayim Laya Basha Arataza Wala Wa Hamayam Alright, oh yeah. Okay. Alright. So let's start at verse 10 again. Waya Kwara Alahayim Laya Basha Arataza Walam Kwawa Hamayam Kwara'a Yamayam ويرى Alahayim Khan Tuab. Waya Amar Alahayim Tarasha'a Ha'arataza Dasha'a Ashab Mazaraya'a Zara'a Aitaza Pariya Asha Pariya Lamyana Ashar Zara'awa Ban Ayal Harataza Harataza Wayahaya Khan. Alright. Let's see. Wathawataza Ha'arataza Dasha'a Ashab Mazaraya Zaraya Lamayana Wa'aitaza Asha Parya Ashar Zara Iowa Ban Bob. Lamaya now. Wayara'a. Alahayim. Thea. Tawa. Alright, let's take time in here so we can read it in English. Alright, that's Genesis 1:8 through. Alright, so we're going to go over that in English. That's Genesis chapter 1, verse 8 through 12. Alright.
Genesis chapter 1, verse 8. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day.
All right, so that's what I was explaining before about where you put that firmament above it in heaven. Again, heaven in Hebrew is Shemayim. Mayim is waters, and heaven is pertaining to or dealing with water. All right, keep going.
Verse 9. And God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear.
All right.
So, and it was so.
All right. So again, this is the formation process. Now, mind you, it says in the scriptures that one day with the Lord is like 1,000 years. So when it's talking about these days, these are time periods, right? We're not saying that, he created it in a literal, what we now call a week. No, we're saying this happened over thousands of years, right? So what happened on the second day, that was when he separated them, that was approximately 1,000-year period where he separated those two and created it, and created the heavens like this, right? And actually, even observing nature, we can see that's what happened, right? We can see that this planet and this earth was created, right? Just from observance, it's obvious. All right, keep reading.
Verse 10. And God called the dry land earth.
Right.
And the gathering together of the waters called the sea.
Right.
And God saw that it was good.
Okay.
Verse 11. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass.
Right.
The herb yielding seed.
And
the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind.
Right.
Whose seed is in itself upon the earth, and it was so.
So even in this time, the Most High wasn't about mixing seed, right? So this grass, and then this herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding seed. These fruits and these herbs these fruits and these herbs were supposed to mingle with their own, right? Like I heard it one time put out so the Most High, like if you were going to set up like a garden or a vineyard, right?
Right.
The way we would structure it might be different than the way the Most High would structure it, right? Because we would sometimes, we'd have row of this next to a row of this next to a row of this. The Most High separates everything, right? He doesn't want a orange apple hybrid tree. Like that's not a thing that the Most High wanted. He didn't create it that way. He wants these seeds from this plant to be able to pollinate with this plant. He wants this fruit to be able to pollinate with this fruit tree, because it's the same. The seeds are supposed to be the same as you're not supposed to mingle the seeds, right?
Right.
That's another commandment further along multiple times, that you aren't supposed to mingle seeds, and that's what it's talking about. Like it's genetic splicing is basically what it is, in a primitive sense, in the first sense we've ever had, right? All right, keep going. Oh no, was that it? Oh no, 12, 12, 12.
12 again.
I thought you just read 11.
Time. Verse 12.
Uh-huh.
And the earth brought forth grass,
Right.
and herb yielding seed after his kind,
Right.
and the tree yielding fruit,
Uh-huh.
whose seed was in itself
Right.
after his kind.
Uh-huh.
And God saw that it was good.
So the way he created it, the way he created it to the seeds of this herb to be after his own kind, right? Or the seeds of this fruit tree to be after his kind, right? He created that, and he said, leaving these things the way I created them, and creating these, and when I created them this way, they were good, right? This is good. Let's see. All right. As I can see, we are sitting right here at the time for class. All right, and with that, we're going to say shalom. I had so many. I was like, let me cut this off first.